You fall in love. It's sweet, it's innocent, it's passionate. Then life looks at your love story and says, nah, this is too easy. Let's spice it up. Next thing you know, your parents are plotting to erase your relationship like it was an error on a chalkboard, and your baby gets shipped off before you can even say, wait, whose idea was this? Sounds like a soap opera, right? Well, welcome to The Cardinals by Bessie Head, a story that starts with love but takes a detour through pain, loneliness, and the politics of identity. And yes, it's as dramatic as it sounds. Stay tuned, because this book isn't just a story. It's a whole exploration of what it means to be human in the middle of chaos. Let's dive in. Okay, let's start from the beginning. The Cardinals is a novella set in South Africa during apartheid, a time when society was obsessed with dividing people like slices of bread, not just by race, but even by class among the blacks themselves. Yup. As if life wasn't hard enough, the privileged black folks decided, we're the special ones. We don't mix with those slum dwellers. Basically, apartheid wasn't enough. They had to add premium membership tiers within their own community. Sounds familiar? Yeah, humans never disappoint.
You're goddamn right.
So here comes Johnny. Johnny is this young man who grew up in the slums but managed to escape the mess. He clawed his way out because he didn't want to be dragged down by the environment, a place where survival often meant compromising your morals. He's free now, trying to make something of himself. And then bam, love happens. He falls head over heels for a girl from the so-called privileged black class. You know how forbidden love stories go. Romeo and Juliet, African edition. Now here's where the plot thickens. Their love leads to a pregnancy. Sweet, right? Wrong. Her parents had their own plans. And trust me, these plans did not involve Johnny. Oh no, they wanted their daughter to marry someone of her class. So the pregnancy, it becomes the family's dirty little secret. They keep it from Johnny, hide it like a government classified document, and the baby, sent off for adoption like a parcel. No explanation, no closure, just gone. And that, my friends, is the beginning of heartbreak. Fast forward years later, and fate, because fate loves drama, decides to reunite Johnny and that girl Miriam, who now goes by the nickname Mouse. Why Mouse? Well, she's small, quiet, an introvert. After being tossed around from slum to foster homes and raising herself through sheer determination, she's built walls around her heart so high even Spider-Man couldn't climb them. So now she's working as a reporter in a newsroom. Guess who walks in? Johnny! And boom. The tension is so thick you could slice it with a knife. Their conversations? Chef's kiss. Awkward but electric. It's love, but it's complicated. Mouse isn't the same girl anymore. She's guarded, shaped by years of struggle and rejection. And Johnny? He wants to connect, but how do you break through someone who's had to protect herself from life itself?
Who am I? What am I? In past and present, the answer lies in Africa. In part, it lies within the whole timeless, limitless, eternal universe. How can I discover the meaning and purpose of my country if I do not first discover the meaning and purpose of my own life?
That's Mouse, or rather Bessie, asking the question we all secretly ask ourselves at 3 a.m. when insomnia kicks in. Now, The Cardinals isn't just the novella. Oh no. Bessie gives us extra content, 7 short stories and meditations that are basically a peek into her mind. These aren't just stories. They're poetic, raw, and brutally honest. Through them, you feel Bessie's pulse, her feelings toward Africa, her deep-seated dislike for politicians and organized religion, and her razor-sharp logic that slices through societal nonsense like a hot knife through butter. She talks about life, freedom, and her eternal struggle not to be controlled by anyone or anything. She hated labels. Oh, she hated them. Listen to this line.
One of them is crazy crank. I do not mind being a crazy crank, as long as I am sure that I'm a crank of my own making, as long as I resist environmental, societal, and political attempts to control and suppress my mind.
Whew, that's not just writing, that's a manifesto. You also see Bessie's loneliness dripping through the pages, her yearning for love, that aching void she could never quite fill. She writes about a man she loved, a man who lived a double life, a man who needed women but couldn't commit to one. Listen to this.
A man who has great need of their bodies, yet being so intensely proud, he cannot bear to be a slave of the sex organs. There is in him a vicious pleasure in forming a relationship with a woman, and then abruptly and ruthlessly destroying it.
Tell me that doesn't sound like someone who dated a walking red flag. These meditations are so personal, so raw, that reading them feels almost like eavesdropping on Bessie's private journal. And the connection between these pieces and the novella? Uncanny. Mouse's struggles, her search for identity, her fight for freedom, they're Bessie's struggles too. The line between character and creator? Blurred. So what's this gem of a book called? It's The Cardinals with Meditations and Short Stories by none other than Bessie Head. And let me tell you, it's not just a book, it's an experience. Now let's talk about why this book hits differently. First, the writing, classic Bessie Head. Her metaphors, sharp. Her observation of human behavior, surgical. She doesn't just tell a story, she dissects life, identity, and society with the precision of a master storyteller. Themes? Oh, there are plenty. Identity and self-discovery. Both Mouse and Bessie are on this relentless quest to answer, who am I? That question echoes through every page. Class and racial discrimination. The book shines a light on apartheid, yes, but also on intra-black class divisions, a reality we don't talk about enough. Freedom and control. Bessie despised being boxed in by politics, religion, or society, and you feel that rebellion in every paragraph. Love and loneliness. Her meditations reveal a heart that longed for love but kept bumping into disappointment. That vulnerability makes these writings unforgettable. My favorite part? The meditations. Don't get me wrong, the novella is good, but the meditations, they're a feast of thought, logic, and raw honesty. I found myself underlining entire paragraphs like my life depended on it. And for those who don't know, Bessie Head is one of Africa's most celebrated writers. Born in South Africa to a black father and a white mother during apartheid, she lived a life full of hardships, poverty, displacement, mental health struggles. But out of that pain came writing that continues to shake souls decades later. Her works, When Rain Clouds Gather, Maru, A Question of Power, all explore themes of identity, freedom, and human connection. And this book? It's like getting a double portion of Bessie, fiction and raw confession all in one. So if you're looking for a book that's equal parts love story, social commentary, and philosophical reflection, The Cardinals with Meditations and Short Stories should definitely be on your list. Trust me, it's Bessie Head at her finest. If you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe for more classic literature deep dives, and tell me in the comments, have you read Bessie Head? Which of her works is your favorite? Until next time, keep reading, keep questioning, and stay curious. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.